So Adam, obviously, week and a bit of training so far, one pre-season friendly ticked off. How's it been going so far?
Yeah, really good. Pleased with our first week's work last week. Lads worked hard, good attitudes, good application in the way that they approached the sessions. Quite a tough first week back, which it needs to be, not just from a physical aspect, but also from a mental aspect as well. You know, that ability to keep going when it's tough, build resilience. And that's something that I feel we need to develop. So yeah, positive first week. Probably the only real negative was obviously the injury to David on Saturday, but there's no fracture there, and he's currently in for a scan as we speak. So hopefully he'll be, he won't be as long as maybe we first anticipated. But on the whole, yeah, positive first week back.
Yeah, well, touch on those 5 signings that you've made already. And the first one, as you say, David, bit of an injury, but what can you tell us about him as a player?
Well, I think we saw little glimpses on Saturday in the brief time that he was on the pitch that he's a powerful lad, and he's quick, and he'll run behind, he'll stretch the pitch, and he's actually a very capable finisher when he gets into them positions to score. So hopefully he will give us that bit of pace and power at the top end of the pitch, which I think all teams are looking for, really.
Of course, 2 players that you're familiar with before, Cody Johnson and Dylan Crowe, that you've signed. What about them?
Yeah, I mean, first on Cody, I thought he was probably one of our standout performers at the weekend, to be honest. He's a good player. He's only 20, but he's played a lot of men's football, and he's not only, he doesn't only set an example on the pitch with his constant work rate and his bravery to try and get on the ball and get his team playing. But he sets standards in the week as well in training. He works hard, he trains well, he's a good professional, and he's a player that, having had him all last season and seeing how far he developed and progressed, I want to see that same development and progression in him as a player now, obviously playing for us here at Halifax. So I think he'll be one that the supporters enjoy watching, no doubt, because he's he always looks great on the pitch with his long flocking hair and his energy, and he's here, there and everywhere, covering all the blades of grass, and I think he'll very quickly become a really important player for us. Dylan, similar to Cody, really, he was great for me at Kings Lynn. He came for us at a time when we were in a relegation fight, and came in and just really helped us. And he's a great lad. I've seen him develop a lot in the last 18 months. He's a good professional. He's got good pace. He's exceptional 1v1 defender. Which obviously in this division you're going to come up against some really good, talented wide players that have got that pace. So Dylan, I think when he gets into them duels, he'll be a match for most. And yeah, just that pace and athleticism really is just something that we want throughout the team, and he certainly gives us that as well.
And of course, Will Hugill got that little bit more national experience than some of the other players do.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's just an unbelievable athlete. And I think, again, back to Saturday, he's probably another one of our standout performers, to be honest. Unbelievable work ethic. He's very powerful runner, both with and without the ball. And he's very good at going and hunting, trying to win the ball back for his team. And just a really good professional. You can see, having only watched him a few times last season when he went to Chester on loan, and then obviously bits and pieces of when he was at Fylde. But having actually worked and seen him close up last week, he's going to be a really big player for us, and one that I think could have a really bright future in the game.
And then of course AJ Warburton stepping up quite a few divisions to join us.
Yeah, stepped up a few divisions, obviously coming into professional football for the first time. He's a player who I think we can't expect and demand too much of too soon, because the jump in levels is quite significant. But he's got a lot of ability, and he's a lad who's incredibly hungry and determined to seize this opportunity and use it as a chance for him to develop as a player and see kind of where that takes him, this season and into the future. He was away last week, and he missed. I think his flight must have got delayed coming back. So today is actually his first training session with us, but we saw him for 20 minutes or so on Saturday, and I thought he came on and did very well, and he's trained well again today. So he'll just keep on getting better for obviously being in such a good environment. Obviously, being coached day in, day out, playing with better players day in, day out, and I'm excited to see how he does this season.
I believe there's going to be one more signing pretty imminently, but then I'm sure there's a few more in the pipeline coming.
Yeah, one very close, and then others, still in the pipeline, as you say. And it's important that we do continue to add. We've got key areas where we really do need to strengthen. And sometimes there's that temptation to just jump and just sign people for the sake of needing bodies for certain areas. But I think we've got to be maybe a little bit patient. Certainly in a couple of key areas, because I think there'll be a lot of players that are, maybe in other clubs higher up the pyramid or in other National League clubs, and trying to secure deals elsewhere, and they're not all going to get taken, and we might end up doing a little bit of business deeper into pre-season if we don't think we can get the right ones, sooner than that. So we know what we need, and we're working hard, to get the bodies that we think we need to just to kind of give us that little bit more experience and National League nouns, if you will. But we're not just going to jump in and sign people for the sake of it. There's got to be that process in place, and to make sure that we're bringing the right ones in.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity to do that with quite a few trialists on show today.
Yeah. Historically, I've not really been a fan of having too many trialists in, if I'm being honest. But I think we're probably in a unique situation here where we've obviously lost some really important players that were part of Millie's team that did incredibly well last season, with the likes of Jack Evans going, and Galvin and obviously Adam Senior, and obviously a couple of lone lads who they had in, Scott High and Luca Thomas, just to name a few. And then obviously you've got to factor in that we've got some really important players still in the building who were unavailable till the back end of the year, in the likes of Will Smith, Joe Cummins and Max Wright, and they're three players who've got quite a bit of experience, and they're good players as well. So kind of you rip that 7, 8, 9 players out of any group, and you're going to be left with a cohort of players that's a little bit dismantled, really. And we've obviously tried to rectify that with some of the lads that we've brought in to help us at the minute, but we've still got a little bit of work to do. And and obviously the flip side to that is that there may be 1 or 2 lads who go the opposite direction as well, because that's just part and parcel of football. So yeah, we've probably still got quite a bit of work to do in terms of lads coming in, lads going out, and obviously the trialists they're here just to show us what they can do. Some have done very, very well. Some were in last week and we haven't invited them back in this week, and we've had 2 or 3 that have come in today for the first time. So yeah, we'll keep on looking, and it's ultimately up to them to impress.
And of course, obviously, fixtures coming out in 2 days' time. Season starts in a month's time. It's all coming around very quickly.
Yeah, it does. It comes around so fast, as you say. I think there's always that kind of excitement and anticipation for the fixtures to get released. So everybody will be keeping their eye on that on Wednesday. And then yeah, once kind of they're out there, you're then ticking down the days, and before you know it, it'll be the opening day of the season. So we've got a lot of work to do on the training ground between obviously now and then. But you know, we've had 4-5 sessions now with the lads. Obviously the one game, and feel like we're looking and getting stronger day by day. So we just got to keep working hard on here. Look forward to the fixtures coming out on Wednesday, and yeah, just keep preparing the best that we can, because it will be here before we know it.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.